46 after 8. Bronson Pinchot first visited Good Morning America, I guess a little over a year and a half ago, to talk about an upcoming series in which he'd play someone named Balky, an ex-Mediterranean goat herder. It all sounded a little bit odd then. But did Perfect Strangers go on to become a big hit? Don't be ridiculous. Of course it did. He does that better than me. After all, when Balky and his American cousin, played by Mark Lynn-Baker, are in the same room, there is not a dull moment, even at the office.
All right. I did it!
All right. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Physical humor. It's so terrific. I just wonder how it happens. I mean, who decides that the faces will come together, that the hair will get pulled?
Oh, we do. Mark and I do.
You do?
Yeah. I mean, we have a director, of course, and we have producers and everything, but the germ of that is Mark and me. One of the best things that we ever did, one of the funniest things I've ever been involved in, was the thing where we were learning how to put on skis. I forget what was in the script, but it was something, it was the equivalent of, they go crazy. And we put on the skis, and Mark was looking at them and thinking, I had never been in a pair of skis before, and he put them on, and he just went, oh, and then I said, what? And he, whispered something in my ear, and then we did this bizarre thing where we, leaned in opposite directions, and, it was just
kind of came
well,
together.
As soon as he put them on, he just said, oh, I get it, and saw what it was, and then explained it to me, and I saw what it was, and we did it, and I think it's one of the funniest things I ever was part of.
And it's been about a year and a half, right?
Yeah.
Since you've been, is it still just as much fun as when you first started doing it?
Not in the same way. It's so much more serious now because we know what we're capable of, and so our standards are huge,
and the pressure's there too.
The greatest pressures is inside of us. I mean, Mark and we drive each other to madness because we want every little thing perfect. And it used to just be, oh, I have a funny idea. You and me will do this, and we'll pull each other's hair. And now it's like, let's see, we'll do the hair beat, and then we'll do the nose beat, and then we'll do the thing. And, oh, it's extreme. It's like two pianists, playing. I mean, it's like
make each other crazy a little bit sometimes.
Yeah, but in a good way. We drive each other to some good stuff.
Well, thinking about that and how you put so much of the pressure on yourself, I know that you feel quite a responsibility now. Because everybody that's on a sitcom now, they want to be in the movies, and you've been offered a movie role.
Yeah.
And you say, and you're really kind of looking at any kind of a movie role because of your responsibility to all the fans of Balky, right?
Yeah, I was shown a script, a comedy script by the Lorimar film arm, because they do, the TV show, and they also have a film thing. And it was interesting. It's about a couple of guys, 3 guys, and one of them is a psychic. And that's the part they wanted me to play. And he's so in touch with the other world that he occasionally, bursts into flames. And, I just looked at that and I said, that'll give nightmares to 5-year-olds. Please take that out
and
if I play it.
And little kids are very big fans of your show.
And I said, I'm bringing this baggage of 20 million 5-year-olds and their mothers who will, the 5-year-olds will have nightmares, and the mothers will say, that guy should have seen that in the script and asked them to take that out. So it's interesting to look at things that way now, because I never did before.
So they're actually rewriting, right?
Well, I asked them to take the things that were particularly nightmarish out of it, or at least consider if that could be done.
All right, I want to talk about what you're doing here in New York and everything, so let's take a break. We'll come right back in just a moment with more of Bronson Pinchot. It is now 53 after. We're back talking with everyone's favorite ex-Mediterranean goat herder. Stop that.
I always wanted to do that.
Played to perfection by Bronson Pinchot. You don't have any kind of script or anything, right? You just kind of go out there and go at it with Mark Lynn-Baker.
No, we have a...
I mean, you have an outline, but you have to make the moments.
No, we have more than an outline. We have, as a matter of fact, they give us very specific things to do.
And then you make them crazy.
we can either do them, or we can show them something that is really good. But if it stinks, then they say, well, why didn't you do this? So that's one of the things that keeps us trying to think of really great stuff. Just the physical stuff is all that we make up. We don't. I mean, I make up a couple of lines here and there, and Mark actually comes up with lines for me sometimes, because I'll say, what's a funny way of saying this, and he'll just come up with it. But most of the time we...
Well, these two are together. It's great. You're here alone in New York.
Yes,
and I just wanted to say that you do a lot of traveling alone. You went to Belgium and Greece alone. A lot of people find that a very scary thing to do.
I've traveled alone. I started traveling alone because the first time I ever had enough money to go to Europe, the first 2 times I ever went to Europe, I was with, women, and it was fine, but I was always had a...
You hate that schedule.
I was like, oh, God, do we have to, it's fine, but you have to do you know, like Henry Higgins says, you choose something else that neither wants at all, and you end up, you know, sitting and doing...
And you got a lot of material for Balky, too, when you went over to the Mediterranean, right?
Oh, yeah, always, because I'm by myself and people...
You can
know,
sit and watch the goat herder.
Not only can you watch the goat herder, but you can, you know, people will come up and ask you what you're doing and be curious, and you can hear how they talk, and you can talk to them. And they never believe me when I come up to sheep herders in Greece and say, I'm an actor and I play a sheep herder, and could I talk to you? They just...
So go alone sometime if you have no one to go with. It's you'll have a good time. It's good to see you. We'll be back in just a moment.